Alright guys, we have another female comedian. That's what I'm talking about, man. She's a very nice lady. Her name is Kowalski. Everybody's my girl Kowalski right here. Where's she at, Kowalski? With the green hair.
Never mind. I'm gonna read off this sheet and there's nothing you can do to stop me. There are things you can do to stop me, but I'd rather you didn't. I'd love to talk about Tinder, but the thing is, I've recently booted the Facebook app off my phone, and Tinder doesn't work without the Facebook app. I've already found a soulmate. Anyway, so because the Facebook app wanted me to install another app to do the messaging, which is like, now you need 2 apps to do the same thing, and you know, Facebook, you can steal my identity, I don't care, you can invade my privacy, but the storage space on my phone is sacred. And also, until Tinder incorporates an option to smell and hear the people, I don't think I really want to use it. Nothing really beats the first impression in meat space. Meat space is as in the flesh, not meeting, although I suppose that also kind of works. Sorry, this is... How do I talk normal people language? That's really strange for me. Anyway, so most people who are like in relationships have more sex than single people. I know, it's like, because there's this myth of the single person who goes around and is like, oh, I'm boning all the people. It's like, not really. I mean, on average, I'm talking about like the average person, not like the outliers like your randy brother who gets it every night, or you know, the asexual couple who get loads of other stuff done because they're not constantly screwing their brains out. Anyway, so most relationships don't actually require you to go outside and to, you know, make yourself up nice so that you can... See, the thing is, if you want to get laid, and you're single, it's just so much work. You have to make yourself up nice, and you have to go outside, and you have to go to other places that encourage people hooking up with each other, and then you have to scan the crowd and see if there is someone whom you might maybe possibly want to maybe sleep with later on. Then you have to make eye contact with them to find out if they feel the same way. Then you have to walk up to them and talk to them. And after you've been talking to them, you have to find out if you still want to sleep with them, because very often that is not the case anymore. And then they have to decide if they want to sleep with you, and you have to find out if you can find out if they want to sleep with you, because sometimes they're a bit too subtle or they're too shy or whatever. And this is quite a few hours, and you know, if at that point it doesn't work out, you have to rinse, repeat, and start the whole process all over again. And then it's like the middle of the night, and maybe you've then found someone with whom you can, you've got an agreement. Then you have to agree on a place where you're going. A note on the side: please do not have sex in the toilets. Other people want to use the toilets for not having sex. Also, it's kind of gross. Don't have sex in the toilets. Thank you. Anyway, so...
We were just referring to Daniel. That's half of his date's gone now.
Okay. So, by that point, you found a suitable location for where you're going. It's probably morning and the sun is coming up, and all you want to do is sleep. Because you've spent the whole night trying to find someone you want to sleep with, but at that point, you just don't care anymore. You're just like, excuse me, I'm going to go to sleep now, go home. I don't care. Okay, let's talk about something completely different, because I couldn't really make up a nice transition, and it's kind of Frankenstein set by this point. When you're a child, yes, this is really different, you have absolutely no concept of gender. If someone wears the crown, they're the king. If someone wears the witch hat, they're the witch. It doesn't matter, it's all in the hat. And And if you're a child, you can say, oh, I identify with Spider-Man because I'm a clumsy wallflower, and wouldn't it be great if that speed and agility were mine without having to exercise? And then they tell you that you can't be Spider-Man, and you can't be Robin Hood, and you can't be a musketeer because you're a girl. Because, you know, in the stories, if you're male, you can be anything. You can be the hero, you can be the jock, you can be the smart guy, you can be the stoner, you can be whoever. If you're female, you can be female. Oh, I don't know, you can be the, the love interest who gets kidnapped or killed to create man pain in the male protagonist. Because it's so relevant. And not to mention, once you hit puberty, if you're a straight woman, and you start watching things, not just because you maybe like silly movies about time travel and fencing and sword fights and stupid stuff. And maybe suddenly you look at a specific male character and you don't just go, oh, I like watching them, but you also kind of think, I would stick my tongue so far down their throat that it takes a team of trained divers to retrieve it. Which is kind of a stupid metaphor in hindsight, don't do that. And that's when you start to scare the fanboys. Because we can't have women being sexual. It's like, it's not allowed. You can't be the one doing the looking. You have to be the one who's being looked at, because you've been born with a body that is in the public domain. And apparently it's okay for a muscular, testosterone adult teenage boy to fuck to Miley Cyrus rubbing her butt against someone else. But it's not okay if you're like a tiny teenage girl who gets all hot and bothered by the guys in One Dimension. Sorry, One Erection. No, sorry. One Dimension, that's what they're called. Anyway, but we've, recently, people have been starting to talk about female sexuality, what with that piece of glorified Twilight fan fiction coming into the cinemas, the 50 Shades of. We swear this is really what women want. Because we're all the same. Incidentally, I've been to the cinema recently, and I'm pretty sure my 5 minutes are up, but I'm going to say this because I saw a different movie. I saw Jupiter Ascending, which is this a good movie? Is Jupiter Ascending a good movie? Hell no. It's a terrible movie. The plot concentrates on all the wrong things. The dialogue would make George Lucas wet himself, and if Channing Potato's acting were any more wooden, we could use it to replenish the rainforest. But on that note, it is so bad it's fantastic. It is a piece of hilariously glorious space trash. It's the most random thing ever. It looks like it was written by a 14-year-old straight girl who wasn't allowed to play Vampire the Masquerade with her older brother. Sorry, this is another geeky joke. No, what
I get it!
Yes! And it features a Russian immigrant who goes from cleaning toilets to being told she's royalty and she's inherited the earth. It features a half wolf guy who had wings but doesn't have wings anymore, and now he's got flying rollerblades, who has to wrestle a lizard gargoyle, while Eddie Redmayne, who's just got nominated for an Oscar because he was playing Stephen Hawking, runs around in a sparkly cape with no shirt on, pretending he's Gary Oldman, as directed by Luc Besson. And also Sean Bean plays a bee. It's really stupid, and it's wonderful, and oh, there is also a bit where a lady gets naked, because some people like that sort of thing. So, between 50 Shades of Grey and Jupiter Ascending, you could go see the movie that will make you uncomfortable with how well it knows your secret kinky fantasies, showing things that aren't even anatomically possible or even plausible. Or I guess you can go see 50 Shades of Grey, which promotes abusive relationships and really boring sex. Okay, that was it.
Everybody go on, sleep.